Alright, and we're here for the, I guess, Yasuo matchup video, and this is gonna be a fun one because, I personally just haven't had as much success as I would like to in this matchup, but it could also be just because Yasuo, as a champ, it's like, I'd say how Dopa put it once, it's that like Yasuo as a champ is incredibly strong, but the only thing that makes him weak is the people that play him because they don't know how to play him properly. It's like, if it's someone that knows how to play Yasuo properly, then he's just insanely strong just because of how well he can choose when and when not to go in. And same thing goes with this, and with a lot of Fiora matchups, that pretty much if you're laning against someone that has the agency to choose whether they want to go in or not, that's, oh, what was that? This guy has a stream. He linked us a stream, by the way.
Minions have spawned.
Like we're like sitting here in like the in the lob in like the pre-game lobby or whatever, like choosing our champs. No one says anything. And this is the guy that links his stream because why not? It's like I'm not saying that my play's any better, like obviously, because I'm like, hey, half the time I do stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like I don't think you should be linking anyone your stream when you do stuff like that. So, but yeah, with this Yasuo matchup, it's pretty. It can be difficult if the Yasuo knows what he's doing, especially when he holds his whirlwind. That's pretty much the main thing that you have to worry about, because like he can get his Q stacks a lot faster than your parry can come up. So being able to like time when it's gonna happen versus like if he decides to hold it or not is pretty much the most important thing. Right now, like, I got the shove on him, so he has to play pretty far back. Got the level advantage onto him and stuff, so we're in a pretty decent spot compared to where we could be. Only missed one CS. Lee Sin, I'll drop a ward here, just in case. Now that he has E, the lane becomes a bit more difficult, and the invade is coming in. This dude's probably dead a second time. Yeah, there's nothing I could do to help him. I'm not gonna keep for that minion. No, I am. Da, da, da. Wow, that was some sort of minion block there. And now I regret where this lane is right now, considering we invaded, but I guess we just have to sacrifice a couple of minions and then just take it how it is. I obviously shouldn't have queued there, but I got greedy. Yeah, I had a feeling he was still up here on this side of the map. Like, I hadn't seen him leave, and I doubt he was going to leave through river like that. Okay, I got that CS, didn't get that one. But we're getting there. But yeah, pretty much you have to be on the lookout for whenever a Yasuo queues. That's like pretty much the main thing. As long as he doesn't get his ulti off, you're in like a pretty decent spot. But once he gets stuff like PD and he's able to like land parry like stuff on you in the sort, like his Qs. Like that, he pretty much like put himself into a corner. You want to hold your post as long as possible when laning against a Yasuo, because once it's down, you have literally no defense versus him. Your attack speed slow is gone. Your one chance to like block any of his damage is just gone. You don't have the movement speed slow. There's just so many things that you would be lacking in this matchup that makes it nigh impossible to just beat him in a 1v1. You can't just like walk up to a Yas and then like not use riposte unless he's just not playing the matchup correctly. I decided to just shove in another wave, and he's getting boots, but that's perfectly fine. The real trouble in this lane comes when he gets PD, because what pretty much what Yasuo is gonna do is that like his items are basically made to 1v1 you, or like 1v1 someone easier. Like he gets stuff like Sterak's, he gets stuff like PD and IE. Like he's pretty much going for that damage reduction to make it easier for him to 1v1 you. So when the time arises for you to have to 1v1 him, the one thing that Fiora has to beat someone in a 1v1 is W. In this scenario, it isn't your ulti as much as it could be because of his E mobility. Because if like eventually a minion wave is gonna come, you have to keep that in mind. Wherever the minion wave is, I gotta ping this like a crap ton because Victor was like hugging the left side of the lane, and I did not want Yasuo to get a kill off on that because if he did, he's already gonna be behind. Yeah. Yasuo's mobility when he's like playing inside a minion wave just makes it incredibly difficult to get your ulti off unless I'm playing it extremely horribly, which that it could also be the case. So he backed and got double daggers, which makes sense. He definitely doesn't want to be like behind on this, on his items. He wants to be as efficient as possible. Keep the gold value as close as possible between us, at least our items. And this Kayn is something else. Oh, my Q didn't connect because of his E. Had a feeling he would eat through that, but it's fine. That ward's gonna expire. I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to take it out. I'll just hold the wave here.
An enemy has been slain.
Whew, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I am not about to let you clear this out. That easy, at least. I mean, you're missing CS too. I'll gladly give up double sum to kill you again. I just didn't think that his I didn't hold my W long enough, because like when you, that's pretty much like the difficulty comes in. If you get like really point blank up to his face, then just like you have to react based on sound, and I didn't think I'd be able to do that, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll just parry now because his like W's coming out. And that's another thing to worry about, is that like when Fiora parries, like your parry, like when he hits you with the whirlwind, what stuns isn't like the whole, like, it isn't like, it's a skill shot essentially. There's a projectile that Fiora fires out, and that's what her parry is. There's a projectile that shoots out of her W, and that's where the stun comes from. And since it's considered a projectile, Yas can still block it with his wind wall. So you pretty much have to keep that in mind when playing against Yas, is that if you Q wind walls and you riposte, you can block the wind wall, but it's gonna hit the, like, I mean, you can block the whirlwind, but the projectile for the stun is gonna knock into the wind wall, and if he's not in front of it, he's not gonna get hit by the stun. That's another advantage that he has in the lane, that it isn't 100% guaranteed that once you block the whirlwind that you're gonna land a stun, because if he reacts fast enough or at least knows what he's doing in like whirlwinds before, I mean he wind walls before he shoots out his Q, then you're kind of in trouble, because it's like, yeah, his Q comes up like faster and faster depending on how much attack speed the dude gets. So that's a lot faster than your W, which is on a 24-second cooldown, like until like say level 10 if you take Transcendence, and even then it's like, okay, you need to get some good CDR for that. So So it's 3 top, cool. It's alright, fam. I'll just stay here. I wonder if she's gonna... Alright, there she is. I have to drop a ward here, though. Yeah. My poor boy, Victor, having to live a life like this. And I missed my Q. Hey, they shut down the Lee. What units, dude? That dude is an absolute unit. Victor coming out alive like that. And me with that horrible Q. But yeah, this dude went pretty defensive. He doesn't care about trying to 1v1 me because he knows that I could just kill him pretty easily, especially if he doesn't land a whirlwind, and he seems pretty dead set on holding his Q as long as possible, or as long as need be, to try to bait out my parry, but yeah, it only worked once. And if this is the game that he wants to play, where it's just constantly farming, I'm like, that's fine by me. Did he have to blow flash? He blew flash when he was like way higher HP, but eh. My man's is just playing the waiting game, and that's completely fine by me. Essence Reaver and Death Stance are pretty good items into him because if your Q's up off cooldown fast, then you can kind of negate the fact that his E gives him so much mobility once he maxes it. So.
Rampage. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
There we go. We're getting there. Pretty much just farming up almost that Essence Reaver. It's just hard because pretty much just like I said, it's like dependent on him for when he wants to fight us, essentially. He can play back as much as he wants, and since he has tier 2 boots, it's going to be really difficult for me to try to run him down. So. I'd rather just blow flash like that, but that's perfectly fine. And this, let me get that out of the way so I don't hit anything. And both of them used ulti. He did not flash though. Absolute unit fiddlesticks. 4-0-3. Coming up heavy with the top lane gank, dude. Poor them that they lost tower that fast, but hey. I wonder if Vayne... I don't think Vayne can 2v1. Nah, poor Vayne. She tried. Wow. I feel. Okay, cool. Very cool, Kanye. Hey, he's getting there. Can't deny that. And this lane's going pretty well. As you saw like before, it's just a matter of holding on to your W and like making sure that that he doesn't parry, like that you can get your parry off or at least block one of his whirlwinds. If he has Q like his whirlwind stacked up and he's directly onto you, it's best to just W and riposte that and then just Q away from him rather than holding on to like your parry, especially if you're really low, because you can't really tell. Oh, this dude. I'll back later because he's wanting to shove in this wave pretty fast. This should be fine.
Shut down.
Now we have boots, and now we're rolling there. We're almost gonna catch up to him, and he's pretty close to getting PD. But now that we have Essence Reaver, by the time he finishes PD, we'll have Ninja Tabbies, so he won't be dealing as much damage as he was probably be hoping for. It's perfectly fine. It's really good that bot lane's winning right now because typically the way I play against Yasuo's is that they're like mid lane or something, and then like as you always know, the enemy Yasuo or enemy Zed is usually like a freaking monster at it, but the Yasuo on your team is usually feeding. So it's like I'm coming out of top lane like kind of ahead, like I've got pretty decent bit of gold, but then Yasuo comes down with like PD Starax, and then it's like okay, so I just can't touch this dude. Low key, but just because his E comes off cooldown like mad fast. Isn't somebody going towards the side of the... Alright, cool. Very cool, Yasuo. I wonder if blue buff's up. Yeah, I'm not about to get hit by that. Not today, at least. This was smited. I'm pretty sure. I can't be high that he didn't smite that. And that blue buff's up. Oh, who was so kind enough to drop a blue trinket there? What a good lad. Thank you, thank you. He can take the Gromp all he wants, but if I can get this, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna want to fight that at all. Yeet. Big boy. Keep chasing. That's perfectly fine. Like, split push Vayne, that's what I'm liking. Like I said, his that I played it really bad. I didn't parry in time because that's like the first time he's used his Q like insta fast, and that makes sense. Like why? Because like he was like pretty low, right? But you can see it's like I had him pinned to the corner, but his sheer mobility that he had just because of his minion wave just made it so much harder to lock him down and just get my vitals off onto him. Probably, yeah, he had PG, he had Ninja Tabby. I didn't have Tabby. So just him getting that ulti off with the Ignite was enough to kill me. Because I didn't have Q, the Ignite was going to kill me, and I just didn't Q towards him to get to my vitals because my Q is just on a much longer cooldown than his E is. And that's just how the matchup works. It's like, even if you're ahead, if you misplay killing him, or like if you fight him inside of your own minion wave where he has just a mass amount of mobility to just stall out your ulti, then like it's pretty hard to lock him down. That's just a fact. It's like, yeah, it's like I approached him here. You would think it's like, yeah, it's like he's pretty low. But the second I got on top of him, the first thing he did was just move along the minion wave. She's dead. She got flashed earlier. Feels bad. Had I parried his ulti, it would have been fine. I mean, I would have been fine, but Forgot that he had Ignite and didn't take into the account of how much damage that would have done after the fact. But I'm fine with dying once, and like you guys pretty much got to see like how bad it can get, especially when a Fiora player as bad as me is playing. So, and they really do not want me getting this tower, do they? Jesus.
Others try. I succeed.
I was about to say why Kane back, but he got his form, so that's definitely worth, even though Drag's coming up. I mean, it's like the third Ocean Drake, not too important, but hey, it would be nice in a split push. Definitely would be. And Leona's here, why? Just take these Krugs. They're winning the fight over there anyway because the one person with any sort of reliable CC is topside trying to kill me. And Zoe was picked off rather quickly. I think we can just group mid, or they could do drag. I can group mid with Victor if he wants. He stole the Drake. LMAO. My mans. If I get ignited, I'm pretty much dead. This all depends on whether Yasuo's in or not. Unless they hit something, but yeah. Cool. Alright. I just wanted to make sure that he didn't die. Oh, he did. I'm actually... It's the thought that counted.
Precision. Shut down.
He tried. Was he like stuck typing to me or something? Very cool, Kanye. I'll let Vayne farm because she said she wanted to farm. Don't want to take the ADC CS away, man. That's not cool, dude. Oh, Vayne! I thought you said you were just gonna farm, fam. What happened, fam? But yes, yeah, like warding needs to be a little better. Yeah. Should buy more. Hey, look at me, dude. Look at my vision score. Probably not the best, but hey, man, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Better than the support. I'm like, come on, man. He's getting it. Nah. I wish Vayne went top because since Baron's up, there's nothing really bot for them to take. Vayne would just be in a better position to either cover for mid or like join in to go for this, and then the tower's a lot closer to Baron than just like going over there to push. And then there's actually a tower for me that'd be able to take, or actually be worthwhile taking. like if I went bot, but wow. Like there'd actually be something worth for me to take if I went and split. Like, oh my PC lagged. Holy, I dropped down to like 30 frames for like half a second there, and I don't know why. But yeah, Vayne needs to catch like mid and top waves because it's like there's no reason for me to be this far down with Barons up. Like I don't have TP, so it's not the best idea for me to just split this game. That's where TP comes in and becomes just like really useful. But it's a lot more useful for Vayne to be around Baron than it is for me at this point. Like I think Vayne is I don't have my 2 items completed. Vayne does, and she's like building up to an IE, I'm guessing. So I think it'd just be a lot more beneficial for like these 4 to be around Baron. They have a lot better team fight than I do. And it's like all I can do is just like run someone down. And it's better for me to like drag someone like Yasuo or like even like 2 people like Leona and somebody else down to fight me rather than like force them to fight in a team fight because I think how fed Zoe is in like a 5-on-5 fight, I don't think we're gonna do that well, especially with the amount of lockdown that Zoe and Leona have. But if like one of their main damage threats is going over to stop me, I don't think they can fight the rest of my team. I didn't get. Okay, cool. Oh, and then they killed Zoe. It's actually pretty poggers. I'll let them keep fighting, but this gives me tower. Yeah, they can pretty much go get tower. Now that Baron's gone, I mean Drag's gone there, we're gonna try to focus me anyway. And I think they should just reset and start getting vision for Baron because there's literally none. There's literally none right now. Instead of just like sitting around trying to take stuff that isn't even up, just like maybe group mid install and like have somebody go with Fiddle and just get vision. Like at least like oh shit. Jesus. Okay, so this, like, how much? Like, either that or, like, fight them there. Like, there's so much stuff that happened. Like, go. 3 bot right now. 3 without ulti. Like, they should be able to take that, like, easy peasy. That was one heck of a channel. Oh, that was actually a good ulti. They got that though, right? They tried at least, but hey. But I'm like, that's pretty much like what my job was done. It's like, I dragged that many people over to me to just try to kill me. That's just a free Baron. And at least my team picked up on that. I was able to ping them like maybe once just to let them know. But yeah, like as long as they get the gist of like what's supposed to happen, then pretty much your job's done. Preferably if I didn't die, that would have been perfect. But with the amount of CC and lockdown that they have, there's just like almost no way I was getting out once I got autoed by Caitlyn and she had red buff. That's when I realized like I flashed too late. Oh god, Fiddle. He should have just let me keep chasing, but I could have like reacted to his pings a lot faster. Yeah, she just can't out damage me like that. Just Fiora things when you get on top of the ADC, unless they're like Vayne or something, or like Tristana, then they can't really do much. Unless if it's like an incredibly fed Ashe, but that's neither here nor there. LMAO. Looks at Lucian. Looks at like any ADC with mobility that annoys me, but hey! Like, look at that mobility. How annoying. But hey. Yeah, I guess that's how the... Oh. Ooh, I got baited. But yeah, that's how the matchup goes for Yasuo. I explained it all towards the beginning, so that's pretty much the gist of it.